there's much evidence that we perform according to what's expected of us. So if others see the gold and they see our potential, it draws it out. If others assume that we're not going to perform well and that we have no potential to go to college or succeed or be creative, then that keeps us very narrow. And so an example of this that's familiar and widely known, that if African American students in elementary school have an African American teacher, better test scores and more favorable teacher perceptions, right? But a really powerful study came out this last March from Johns Hopkins that looked at the long-run impact of teachers and students being matched. Findings: low-income Black students who have at least one Black teacher in elementary school are significantly more likely to graduate high school and consider attending college. Having one Black teacher reduced the Black students' probability of dropping out of school by 29%, and for very low-income Black boys, the results are a reduction of the chance of dropping out by 39%, having one Black teacher in elementary school. Just one teacher, 39%. For some reason, that very much upsets me. And I'm going to say why. I mean, it's very common sense that if you have a role model, if you have someone that gets you and pays attention and believes in you, it's going to draw out the goodness. We get that. But then we look at what's actually happened in this country with Brown versus the Board of Education, 1954. It looked like this incredible boon to racial justice, right? Integration of schools. Well, what happened actually was African American kids were integrated into white schools, and within 10 years, half of all African American teachers lost their jobs. Why? Because those who were hiring, the dominant culture, believed that white teachers were superior to Black teachers, and white parents wanted white teachers to be teaching their kids. Thousands of Black educators' jobs were terminated. And then here we have it. Just takes one teacher. Imagine you have one or two or three. So we need positive mirroring. And if this is interesting to you, by the way, I got this from Malcolm Gladwell's podcast on revisionist history, this particular episode. And if you want to learn more about it, I thought it was really powerful. I bring this in because we're talking about coming home to the garden and the power of our relationships with each other. And we're also in a relationship with the structures and institutions of our culture. And it's as much a part of our path to try to create a compassionate society as it is to wake up the compassion in our own hearts. So how do we do it in our own hearts? How do we deepen our attention so that we're with someone and there's a place in us that's scanning and saying, what do you need? How are you feeling vulnerable? How can I respond in a way that reminds you that you belong? What would it be like if we scanned and did that? Rachel Remen says, one moment of unconditional love may call into question a lifetime of feeling unworthy and invalidate it. One teacher, one moment. There's a power we have in really showing up for each other, to remind each other.